possibility that we can see some fountains going off during the daytime?
Yes. Most likely starting this summer, probably not quite with the show, but the plan is always to activate that lagoon during the day. So we will do, sort of short fountain shows on the hour, on the half hour when the park is open, because really we've created this incredible park atmosphere in the whole new viewing area that you see being built, and we want to bring to life that water. So yes, absolutely we will.
And eventually the hope is to make it interactive. That's all we'll say on that.
Yeah.
Here on the side.
Hi, JoeyMustInfo.com. With all this infrastructure going in for the World of Color, is there thoughts for other programs, maybe a Luminary 2.0, Christmas shows, reworking of the show for other things?
We never stop inventing. Yes, down the road.
Yeah, even World of Color itself will change. I forgot the whole end of the show, didn't I? I was so tired. There's a whole end tag to the show. Part of it's been on the internet already, but basically at the end of the show, when the end of the show is done, the fountain will actually come out and do bows. We're going to make it so they actually feel like little people, and they're going to come out and do bows, and the little orange fountain's going to come out and do a bow. And then after that, we're going to do a whole series of encores. And the encores are going to change all the time. So if a new movie comes out, we may actually put the new movie into World of Color if it fits. World of Color will always be changing. We're not going to keep it as a static show. I'm a firm believer in that. I think that it should always evolve. When Rapunzel comes out, there's some beautiful music in Rapunzel. If we weave it in the right way, it'll magically end up in World of Color. It might start as its own encore in the beginning. And we'll see. John's very committed. Pixar is going to do little interstitials with features, also doing little interstitials and things. So it's going to be fun.
Constantly changing. Great.
And yes, I want to do Lumen 2.0.
Sorry.
Now that I have fire out there.
A quick question. Designing a 360-degree show versus, you talked about last time making like a movie, but how do you design something? How do you approach it when there's multiple viewing points around the lagoon?
Organically. Yeah. And what's great about especially projecting on water, you can really see it from the front or behind. So there are things in the show that are meant to come at the audience. That's why we built the new viewing area, and we really pushed to have that done. And that's what I think is going to be great, is that the show on the backside is still going to be as massively impressive because, it's so big.
It'd be a little bit different show, too. I think we've done tests, CGI tests, where we're able to fly around the balloon and look at the show from even just the fountains and lights from the backside. You're like, oh, that's a whole different experience. So we're hoping that people experience from all angles.
I want to put people on the wheel, the top of the wheel.
I want to be there.
Does Paradise Pier go dark now when the show starts with all the lights left?
Yes. With safety in mind.
So that means California Adventure will actually have to be open later at night now. What do you think?
That's part of why we're doing the show. Well, because basically what happens is, like when Disneyland has fireworks and Fantasmic, it basically carries into the night hours and becomes that what we call the kiss goodnight. So that's what World of Color will be, is it will become the kiss goodnight for Disney's California Adventure.
Yes, right here.
My name is Perry Chen. I'm a 9-year-old film critic at Younger Media. And what inspired you to make this World of Color?
You have to answer that.
What inspired us to do it? It's just looking at different mediums. We've done a lot of work with fireworks, and I always am called the guy who does the shows without people. So this was just another way to do that. The park wanted a nighttime spectacular, and they wanted it to go onto the lagoon. So we started to look at fountains. Disney hasn't gotten into the fountain world very much, so we thought we would just look at that and say, hey, what if we start to play with that? And what if we start to make characters in water? And what if? And it just kind of led down a path to making a World of Color.
And every time Stephen would come to a meeting, he'd bring another toy and go, look at this! The grid toy, and that's how the grid was actually developed, was he brought in one of those pin toys. He said, look at this, we can make a car, we can make a whale, we can make this. So we actually came out of a lot of really fun ideas as he was exploring it and how to create the show.
And that's why, I love the Walt Disney Company, because they don't, there is a cutoff point, but they let you keep dreaming down the road, which I love, is that you can keep thinking and inventing things. Oh, thank you. Thank you, water goddess.
You're the water guy, so why not?
Was there a lesson learned of what not to do or what to do from Fantasmic? I mean, you had limited space there with Fantasmic, and it must have been sort of like, wow, now we have this lagoon that we can flood with water.
You know, it was there, it did and it didn't. You know, I think that when we started to look at it, I mean, Fantasmic is a very different show when you look at it. It's built differently, and it has a cast of 75 people in it, and mine has none. And so you had to really think about it differently. You had to think about it in a sense of how, that's a hard one to explain. That, well, there was a lesson learned, yes. I wanted screens that were just supreme. That when we looked at water, if we're going to project on it, I wanted to be able to see what's in that. And we've really pushed that a long way. The mist-screen technology that we're doing is totally unique. It's brand new. We'll have the first versions of it. And that's what was fun, is that we tested one screen, and the creator of it was there, and he literally went out and made a new nozzle and sent it to us, and we tested it. And we're like, wow.
He didn't even tell us he was doing it. He literally just called up and said, "We expect a package." I'm like, and
He was
the package
so excited.
And so what is it?